Hello guys and welcome back to Still Nil Nil. Today we are going to be ranking the championship home kits that have been released so far this season. As you can maybe be able to hear, I am with Jack.
Hello.
Finally someone is back and doing a video with us. Jamie is still speedrunning his way to a restraining order, so he is not here today, but you've got me and Jack. I will quickly say that there has only been 22 kits that have been released so far. They are missing Oxford and Luton, as they have not released their kits as of yet. So let's get straight into things. So first up, we have Blackburn. Now, Jack, what do you think of this Blackburn kit?
I really like it. I'll be honest, mate. I really like it. So it's got a retro vibe going on. If I'm thinking right, it's effectively a remake of the kit that they had when they won the Premier League in the 90s. So I'm assuming it's like a 30-year anniversary kit. It's just, it's just the retro vibe. It's maybe a little bit plain with only having the two stripes down, but if I was, we are rating these kits out of 10, and I think
Yes, that's a good thing to add.
Personally, I think with the retro vibe, I would give it maybe a 7.
Yeah, I actually am quite a big fan of this kit. Looking at it closely, I like the design on the blue, and I like the little, it's hard to see, but the little like stripes on the white you can see. I will say, not a fan of the sponsor on the sleeve. I don't mind the sponsor in the middle as much, but everyone's gonna have mixed feelings about sponsors on kits. A lot of people don't actually like them. Me too. I'm not really a big fan of them. I think kits look a lot better without the sponsors. But I've got to say, yeah, overall for me, quite a nice kit. So Jack, what you gonna rate this out of 10?
Yeah, I think I will stick with the 7 as well. I do.
7.
I have just the red. Excuse me, the red trim on the edge of the sleeves. I like very much as well. I just think it is maybe a little bit. I don't even know if you could describe it as plain. It's just there's something about it. I can't give it higher than a 7. It is a very, very nice kit though.
I think from Blackburn's home kit, me personally, I think I'm gonna rate this an 8. I quite like it. Nice kit. Right, next up we have Bristol City. So I'll start off for this one. I'm a big fan of this kit as well. I like the red. I like the checkered squares you can see just in the background, the patterning, and I do like the trim around the neck and the sleeves. What do you think, Jack?
See, it's very simplistic. I like a simplistic kit.
Yes.
There's not too much going on, and so that's a big plus in my book. But I really don't like the trim. I don't like it at all. It looks like to me like a gingham dress or something like that. Like if you see like old-fashioned like jars of jam and they've got that fucking like paper thing on top of it. It's basically that exact same pattern. It's put me off. I do, same as you said, I like the actual pattern on the shirt itself.
Yep.
So
you're worried during the championship season that fans may get confused if they're playing against Bristol or jars of jam. Is that what you're saying from my understanding?
Do you know what? Yeah, sure, man.
Just
sure.
strawberry jam just out there, just running about.
But yeah, anyway, the kit itself, I do, as I say, I like the simplicity. I do. I'll give it a 6 because, again, that trim, it's just, I don't like it at all.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go on the same type of trend as you there. I don't think it's as good as Blackburn, so I'm going to go with a 7. Right, so next up we have Burnley. Jack, how are you thinking, how are you feeling about this Burnley kit?
I really like it. I really, really like it. The pattern on the shirt itself is just unique. Obviously, it blends in well with the colours. The trim's nice. I've seen previous Burnley kits in previous years that they overdo how much blue's on it, and it looks pretty crap. But I really like this kit. It's clean. It's, again, aside from obviously the pattern on the shirt itself, it is relatively simplistic, which I do like. This is probably my favourite so far of the 3, and I'll give that an 8.
For me, can we see what the pattern actually is? It looks like I can see some S's there. I don't know.
Yeah,
what the pattern actually
it seems
is.
to be writing, doesn't it? But
yeah,
I can't quite tell.
Maybe
What
someone in
does
the
it
comments,
say?
someone in the comments can tell me what that actually is, because I don't actually know. I'm gonna have to disagree with you here, Jack. I think this kit is disgusting. Personally, I'm really not a fan of. I know it's Burnley, so this is the colours they're gonna have, but I don't like the colour scheme. I never have, so it's always gonna go down in my book for that. I think the pattern looks silly with it on. The sponsor is way too big and doesn't like fit the kit. It just stands out way too much for this type of kit. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of this kit. I think I'm going to go for a 4.
Yeah, I'll agree. I mean, with the sponsor, you are right. It does stand out. It is very big, very prominent. But I don't know. It's just the design of it I really like.
It sounds like Stan really hates this kit as well.
He does hate it.
Yeah. So what are you rating it? If you didn't say.
I will give that kit an 8.
An 8? Ooh, that's big.
I really like it.
So next up we have Cardiff City's home kit. It's just straight off the back, Jack.
Mm-hmm.
Is that their old badge, or am I going crazy?
Off the top of my head, I don't. They've either changed it to that this season, in which case that is fucking horrible.
Ooh.
Or they've just taken the bluebird off the badge, like their current badge, and used that instead. I can find out, but I don't believe I've ever seen that.
So for me, straight away, it's a very simple kit, but for some reason it just doesn't feel as like rewarding as other simple kits do. It doesn't look as smooth and as nice for me as other kits do. I'm really not a fan of the triangle in the middle by the crest. I quite like the established sign at the bottom of the kit, but I wouldn't have minded that being a bit bigger. It's as if I zoom in, it's a nice little touch. I like little Easter eggs in kits like that. But for me, overall, not the biggest fan of this kit. Don't hate it, don't love it. What do you think, Jack?
Very similar, to be honest. I actually do like the chevron going across the chest. I think it's just something different. Whereas a lot of Cardiff kits in the past have been essentially just blue, just very plain. The Cardiff badge itself really does take away from the kit in my book, because I think that is just horrible. And as much as I do like the white trim on the sleeves, I don't like the collar, because I feel like that should be all white. Yeah, I think if I'm scoring it out of 10, I think I'll go with a 5 for this kit.
Yeah, I'm very much the same. I think it personally for me better than Burnley, but yeah, it's not amazing. I'm going to go with a 5 as well. So next up we have Coventry's kit. So Jack, I'll let you take this away first.
I mean, it's crap, isn't it? Like, the pattern, when I've zoomed in on it here, the actual pattern on the shirt itself is
what is
not
that
great
pattern?
to start with.
What do we think that pattern actually is? Do we think it's got something to do with the area?
I'm going to have a look. Okay, so it actually says on the website here. So it's inspired by the origins of the city of Coventry and features a modern interpretation of the kofa tree on the front and back. I don't know what a kofa tree is, but it is cool in the sense that they've used the local history to inspire the kit, but it's bland. It's very very plain, and just the sponsor is just so, like, it doesn't need to be that big. Surely, I think this kit arguably has to be the worst one we've seen so far, in my opinion. I will give this one a 4.
I will say, do you think you get a sausage roll with it?
I mean, do you know what? If you did, it goes in my estimation, but I find that unlikely.
Yeah, you can't hate the sausage rolls. A lot of people won't understand that, and I'm not going to tell them to understand that. Anyways, so yeah, this kit, I personally don't like the pattern in the background of this kit. For me, maybe it's just because I don't have that link to the club. That means nothing to me, and it just looks weird as an outsider looking at it. And I think the sleeves look a little bit odd how it's done. It might just be the model here But yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of this kit. Again, I don't hate it, so I'm gonna rate this a 5 out of 10. Right, so next up we have Derby County's kit for their first season back in the Championship after a few seasons out of it. I've got to come off straight off the back here and say, really, really like this kit. I am a big fan of this kit. I love the trimming around the neck. I love the trimming around the sleeves. I love this side black and white part. I think that looks really quite nice. And I like the simplicity of this kit. I think it works better with this kit than other kits have. I will say the sponsor on the sleeve again, not great. I do not like that tonic sponsor. It's a bit blocky. It looks a bit, it makes the kit go down a bit. But everything else, I'm pretty big fan of. What do you think, Jack?
So, I don't know. I want to love it. I'm a big fan of a white kit, by and large. But the trim on the collar, in my opinion, should go all the way around the collar. And the black bits on the side, it needs to join up. It needs to just be all black. It really puts me off, this kit. I still think it is nice. I will actually still rate this kit at a 7. But I feel like it could be better. It could be a lot better with just some simple changes.
For me personally, this kit's an 8. I disagree with the all of it needs to be black on the side. I think the white stripe makes it look nice and breaks it up nice. Yeah, I disagree with the collar as well. I think it looks nice like that. I also like how on the inside of it, it's black on white instead of white on black. Overall, yeah, 8 out of 10 for me. Right, so next up we have Hull City's home kit. So Jack, yeah, tell us your opinion on this.
So I think it is very difficult to go wrong with a Hull, simply because it's iconic colours and it just always will stand out.
Yeah.
However, I think Hull have had better attempts over the years. I really don't like the sponsor. I think it does stand out a little bit too much. And maybe sort of wider stripes, like fewer wider stripes, might look better in my opinion. It's not bad, but as I say, I've certainly seen better Hull kits. I think, put this at a 6.
So there's one thing that is actually killing me with this kit, and it is the stripe on the kit manufacturer and the badge that seems to join up and go on the sleeve. I think that looks so weird.
Yes, I've just spotted what you mean. Yeah, that is
I think that looks quite horrible, personally. Other than that, I think it was an okay kit, but that is really annoying me. So I'm going to have to drop this down to a 4 out of 10. I think they've actually had a stinker with that stripe. Right, and next we have Leeds United with their newly sponsored kit by Red Bull. Straight off the back, I actually think the Red Bull sponsor makes sense with this kit. It kind of fits the colours. It doesn't look like it's out of place. I like the blue trimming. I think it's a fairly decent kit. I would happily give that a 7 out of 10.
See, I'm the total opposite of you here. I don't mind the blue trim. Very different for a Leeds kit. I don't mind it. I think the sponsor, purely the fact that it is Red Bull, to me this doesn't scream this kit. It's I find the sponsor completely jarring. This looks like it should be like a Red Bull Leipzig kit or a New York Red Bulls kit. Any of those teams. I don't know if it's just that's putting me off it, but I can't. I want to love this kit and look at it. I really do, but there's just something about the sponsor really isn't sitting right with me. I can't give it any higher than a 5. As I said earlier, I love white kit, but I think this one's a miss.
Right, so the next kit we have is Middlesbrough. Yeah, Jack, you can take this away quickly.
So I don't know if it is, but to me, it reminds me of a kit Middlesbrough wore in the late 2000s. When I look at this, all I picture is Afonso Alves, if you can remember him. scoring a hat-trick against Man City when they beat them like 8-1. That doesn't mean the kit's good. I will say there are worse kits coming up, but this is a poor attempt from Middlesbrough. I don't know if they've just tried to go for a retro look and it really hasn't worked for them. But for me, if I'm being generous, but I think realistically it's a 3.
Right. This is a strange one with this Middlesbrough kit because the first picture you see of this kit makes it look horrific. It makes it look like one of the worst kits. But as you scroll through and you start seeing it on people, it looks a lot better. So
yeah, do you know what? You're not wrong, are you? Because the white comes out and actually stays connected on the bottom of the sleeves, which I do really like.
Yeah, this kit actually went up in my estimations. We had a quick look before doing this video at some of the kits, just a quick little overview. And this kit was one I think me and you would have both rated really low to begin with. But as I've went in and looked at the kit more, it's definitely grown on us. It's obviously still not one of the best kits this season. Like, we can't be going that high, but it's definitely not one of the worst like I initially thought. So I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10. I think it's above average. It's all right. Right, so next up we have Millwall's kit. So Millwall have decided that they are going to make the other team blind and physically sick before the games with their kit, and hopefully that will keep them in the division this season. That's the only thing I can think of to make a monstrosity like this. It is awful. Awful kit. There's no redeeming qualities about this kit, except from maybe I like kits with colours like that. I don't think they're too bad. But yeah, this kit's horrid. It's absolutely horrible. So I'll start this off straight away and give this a 2 out of 10.
So, do you know what? Looking at it, if this was a rugby kit, I think it would be fine. But as a football kit, it doesn't work. I don't know if that makes any sense to you. In my head, that's the best way I can describe it. When I first looked at it, before I clicked on the phone, I couldn't see the trim at the bottom, the stripes at the bottom. I actually didn't mind it. I don't mind the pattern. I don't mind the colour. But the bottom of that kit is frankly hideous. Again, I still do think that at least one worse kit to come, but it ain't good, is it? It ain't good. It'll get a 3 for me. The colour's okay. I do very much like the trim on the sleeves, but not enough to really boost the rating up for it to redeem it.
Right, so next up we have Norwich City's kit. What do you think of this, Jack?
I love it. I absolutely love it. Norwich have had some incredibly shit kits over the years. This, it's just the simplicity, the plain yellow with the squares, green trim, and especially the green trim then going down the side of the kit as well. I think it's absolutely beautiful. If I was a Norwich fan, which I'm most certainly not, I would be queuing up to buy this. I've got to give it a 9. I know the yellow, obviously it stands out. Probably not everybody's cup of tea, but there's just when I look back and think of some of the Norwich kits that I've seen that are usually the worst kit released in a season, they've absolutely hit the mark with this one. Yeah, a 9 for me.
Yeah, I'm in quite of a agreement with you. This is one of Norwich's nicest kits I've ever seen them do, from memory. The badge and the kit maker looks like it could be sewn on. Like it looks like it's actually stitched on. I wonder if that'll be the case. But that's always a nicer touch with kits when they do something like that. I like the checkered background pattern. I like the green on the sides. Yeah, I think a 9 out of 10 is a fair mark for this kit. It's a very, very nice kit. I've got to say, well done to Norwich.
I will make a point though. I have just seen the shorts, and the shorts, fair enough, the green's fine, but the yellow line going down the shorts I really don't like. I will still keep it at 9, but yeah, that's almost bad enough to drop it down a point.
Yeah, that is a bit weird. Now that you've pointed that out. Right, so next up we have Plymouth Argyle. This kit for this season. Yeah, I like this kit a lot. Actually, looking at this kit, I am a big fan of this kit. Jack obviously is not, because he's just banged his head off the table or something. I have no idea what just happened there. But
that was my dog.
This kit is pretty sexy. I like the pattern. I like everything about it. It's clean. Yeah, this kit's nice. I'm going to also give this a 9 out of 10.
So, I think I'm not going to quite go as high with the rating as you are. I think I will give it an 8. The pattern alongside the green, it does just look very clean. Looks very nice. The sponsor's a little bit too big, in my opinion. The white trim on the sleeve, great, nothing wrong with that. It absolutely infuriates me on kits when the collar, like, that needs to be open. I'm sorry, it just makes the kit better if it is. Yeah, do you know what? I was going to give it an 8. I'm going to give it a 7 because I think the sponsor's too big. It stands out far too much. And that collar is really pissing me off. But it is, aside from that, it is a very nice kit. So yeah, I'll say a 7.
Right, so next up we have Portsmouth. Back in the Championship as well for the first time in a very long time. What we're saying about this kit, Jack?
It is simple, but again in a good way. 100% sure I like the stripes on it. I think it's okay. It's not bad, but Portsmouth, again, another club, have had quite good kits over the years. This one for me is a 6. It's not flashy. There's nothing that necessarily stands out about it, but at the same time, there's nothing with it either. It's fine. It does a job.
I like this kit. It's not my favourite kit, but I do like it. It's a nice kit. I think it's a good kit to come back to the Championship with. I'm going to go 6 out of 10, right? And the next kit we have is Preston North End's kit. I'm just going to get straight off with this. This is very plain. Obviously, Preston playing in white kits normally, it is hard for them to do much with it. I feel like they've went like that old Tottenham kit, but like they've tried to rub it out. Do you know the kit I'm on about, where they had the white with the blue across the seat belt?
Oh yes, I do. Do you know what? I didn't mind that Spurs kit so much. It wasn't great, but I didn't mind it.
Horrid kit. And Preston have just basically took that kit from that season and tried to rub it out. They couldn't get rid of it fully. What's a shame for them. This kit is, I think, pretty naff. Personally, I think they've ruined it with that faded blue across the middle. I'm gonna have to give this a 4 out of 10.
Right, so I don't mind it. I don't mind the kit. The trim on the sleeves is okay. It is bordering on a little bit too basic, or I thought it was initially. I didn't even see the sash at first. I had to look at the kit a couple of times before I even noticed. What I can't understand is why they've made it so faded, so light. I actually don't think it would be too bad if it was a little bit more prominent. Like the Spurs kit that you mentioned, I don't mind. And I feel like it could have been okay, but it's like, it's just weird. It is absolutely bizarre that they've made it the colour it is. I think it's got this kit for me. I'll give it a 4 because it is a little bit.
What do you think of this kit? We've got cameraman in the room to decide what you think of the kit.
I quite like that one.
Oh, well, you went against me because I think that is horrid.
Do you?
Yeah, it's disgusting.
I like the faded thing in the.
That is what we are literally talking about, how it's bad.
Oh, I like it.
Well, see, that's the good thing about these kits, is it's different for everyone, how they feel. Anyways, thank you for food, cameraman. We'll
right,
see you later.
Now.
So, next up we have QPR. What, you can get start off with this one, Jack. What are you thinking?
It's nice. It is just clean. Like the 3 different coloured blue stripes across I think it's very, very unique. I do think this is one of the nicer QPR kits I've ever seen. The blue on the just below the collar, I kind of like it. I feel like a lot of people might not like that, just the shape of the three kind of prongs coming off it. I don't mind it. I will say I do think we've seen better kits today, and again, that sleeve sponsor is a little bit off. But on a whole, for me, this kit is probably an 8 out of 10. They've done something different, and I think it's really worked well.
I'm going to have to disagree quite big in this one. I really don't like the 3 different coloured blues as a stripe. And it's really, really annoying me that they've got the back of the kit striped as well. And they don't just have one solid like white or maybe it's blue colour at the back. I think it just looks a little bit weird.
Nah, see, I disagree there. I think if anything, that actually adds to the kit. I do think it... Maybe if it was a solid white, okay, fair enough. But if you were to put a solid blue on the back, I think it would look pretty poor.
Yeah, I think solid white would have made sense. But I don't hate the kit. I'm not a fan of it. Me personally, I think I would go for a 4 out of 10. Did you rate this kit?
An 8.
Oh, an 8? Damn. So next up we have Sheffield United's kit. This kit seems to have way too much happening on first glance. They've got a bit of patterns, they've got the white stripes, they've got the black stripe on the white stripe, the pinstripe on it. There's a lot happening. They've got the yellow trim, what just seems to come out of nowhere. I'm really not sure why they've got yellow trim on the sleeve and at the bottom of the shirt.
Is it because they broke the Premier League record for like most goals conceded, do I think?
Maybe they're celebrating their that season. I don't know. This kit's weird. Like, everything about it's telling me that I should really hate this kit, but there's just something that is like, I don't know. I really hate the yellow. The yellow does not work. The yellowy gold trim. Like, I really don't understand what happened there. And the only thing I can assume is they ran out of material and they were like, let's just hoy the yellow on. Just so it fits people. Because that really does not make sense to me. But, if I minus the yellowy bit, I think I actually quite like the kit. I think this is a solid 6 out of 10. What do you think, Jack?
Honestly, when I looked through kits initially before we started recording, I thought this was the worst kit that I've seen so far, and I'm gonna have to stick with that. It's horrific. I actually don't mind the yellow. I think the yellow on top of black actually does kind of work, but I really don't like the pinstripes. I think because of the pinstripes, the other stripes are essentially too far apart. Like, it looks like there should be red stripes on there than there actually is. It's awful. Like, I can't give this kit any higher than a 2. Obviously, there's no sponsor on the kit, which, does give it some bonus points.
I imagine when the season starts, they will have a sponsor on it.
I would assume so too, but it's reminding me Southampton kit from a few years ago that I also hate. I can't remember which season, but it's just, oh no, I do genuinely think that is the worst kit, quite possibly that we're going to see today. Yeah, it's a 2 for me.
And next up we have Sheffield Wednesday. What are you thinking about this kit, Jack?
So I do quite like the zigzag pattern on the blue stripes. I don't mind it. It's a little bit plain. I would rather that it had sort of less stripes but bigger stripes, if that makes sense. But fundamentally, there's nothing actually particularly wrong with it. I will give it a 5. I think it's just a little bit, I suppose, bland.
This kit, for me, is actually disgusting. It's actually... I didn't actually properly look at this kit before. And now I'm looking at it now. The collar is horrific. I don't know what they've done with that collar. It's like a normal football collar, but it's open.
To be fair, I'm sure a lot of kits look like that these days, like the open collar.
Yeah, but no, it's like, it's weird. It's nothing like I've seen. It looks too white. It looks like they haven't had a real company who makes kits before do it. There's something wrong with that colour. I hate the zigzags on the stripes as well. On thin stripes as well. I think if there were thicker stripes, maybe you could get away with it, like you said. On the thin stripes, it just looks off. It does look retro-y. I know people like the retro thing. I included like the retro feel of kits, but this one, I don't know. It just looks bad to me. It looks really bad. I think a 3 out of 10 for me personally. Right. Next up, we have Stoke City. This kit is very, very plain. Very, very simple. I don't know what to say about this kit. It's a bit weird. Like I say, I hate the whole stripe that links to the arm type thing. I don't like this like white line above the red stripes. It makes it look a bit blocky. It's a bit weird for me personally. I also have got to say, I don't understand how this kit links to the heritage. If someone in the comments can explain that to us, that would be very handy because, yeah, I just don't see it. I will say the net looking pattern on the red stripes is nice. I do like that of the kit, but overall, it's a very average kit for me. 5 out of 10. What do you think, Jack?
So I do quite like it actually. The stripes, I don't mind the white trim going above the red stripes. I think that's fine. I think the trim on the sleeves at the edge of the sleeves it's okay. It's a little bit different. Maybe it's not best, but it certainly doesn't take away from the kit. What is really, really doing me with this kit, and why I will say I'll give this kit a 7 because I do think for the most part it is actually very nice. What's making me not want to rate it any higher is the sponsor. I don't know why, and I don't know if it's just this photo kit, but that looks photoshopped onto me. That doesn't look real. It looks like literally somebody's taken a photo of this kit, put it in Photoshop, and put that on it.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be lined up properly. The sponsor.
No.
It's annoying me how that the 5 on the end is on a white and a red stripe. Like it I don't know. It is kind of winding me up a little bit, but yeah, it's a bad sponsor. I will say, the one thing I will say, I do actually quite like the badge being in the middle.
Yeah, I do. Actually, there's actually quite a few kit manufacturers are starting to do that now. Put the badge in the centre. I don't know how I feel about it because the entire reason that typically the badge is where it is on a kit is because it's like essentially so it's close to your heart, like sort of like loyalty and all that. Like I think it looks okay, but I do prefer the badge where it usually would sit on the kit.
Well, as we all may know, the Stoke is a club that is currently rotten from the top to the bottom. They have been struggling for seasons after seasons. No matter what they do, they just seem to have this losing mentality. So maybe they wanted to get away from the heart of the club because the heart is rotten. Maybe that's the plan. Maybe this is the new way for Stoke City.
You could be right.
Yeah, well, probably not, because let's be honest, we're going to look at like an 18th place finish for Stoke. So, next up, we have the Sunderland kit. I'll let you go first with this, Jack. What are you saying?
Yeah, so we had this conversation yesterday, me and Ryan, and I already know what he thinks about it. I do like it. I think it's clean. To me, it reminds me a lot of a Bilbao kit. Just with the sort of like the way they've done the stripes on it this year. I do think it looks. However, on the sleeves, the chevrons going down, I didn't notice when I looked at this yesterday. I'm just seeing it now, and I really, really don't like it. I'm gonna have to, I think, again, give the kit a 7. Just simply for that. I think aside from that, maybe the sponsor's a little bit too big, but it's fine. On the inside of the kit, the what I'm presuming is actually Sunderland in the background there. I can't quite see it right. Looks very, very nice. The writing on the inside of the collar, from the banks of the River Wear, I like. It's different and it works. But those sleeves are really getting on my nerves. So yeah, I'm gonna have to give it a 7.
I've got to disagree about the sleeves. I think the sleeves is part of what makes this kit look as amazing as it is. It is beautiful. I also love how they've released a long sleeve kit. I don't think we see that very often with kits these days, especially for the outfield players, a long sleeve version of the kit. It's beautiful. It's actually beautiful. It's almost perfect. I love the ship design on the red stripe. It's based off a old Sunderland badge. They've taken that out and put it on the red stripes. It looks very nice. I think Hummel has absolutely smashed this kit out of the park. It is beautiful. And for me, even though I am a Sunderland fan, so some people may think I'm biased, and it does have the one thing I dislike about kits where the stripe goes up and then onto the sleeve. So it's only fair for us to raise that concern about this kit. I wish the red joined up further. But this kit is the best kit so far we've seen. Probably the best kit in the league this season. I'm giving it a 10. Sewers.
Just slightly biased there.
No, not biased at all. Right, so next up we have Swansea City's kit. Got a horrific sponsor on the back.
Yeah, I've just noticed that myself.
I'm trying to work out, is the sleeves... This kit's hard to look at with these pictures, I will admit. Whoever's took the pictures of this kit has not done it a good service at all. It's... I don't like the pattern on the kit. It looks like someone's used the keys to scrape down it. I like how they try to get the sponsor in the middle involved with the kit with the little orange trim on the sleeve and down the sides and on the, obviously, the collar. But, I don't know, this kit's very... Oh, that's horrific. The sponsor on the back is horrific. I would drop a sponsor if they tried putting that on a kit. That is bad. Do you know what? I was going to give this kit a 6 out of 10, but for the sponsor on the back, I've got to drop it down. And whoever took the pictures should be sacked. Sorry if you were watching this video and you did the photography of the Swansea kit out of somehow watching this video, but honestly, you should find a new profession. What do you think, Jack?
remind me never to let you hire me. I think I was going to give this kit an 8. On first glance, I was. So I haven't got very much different to say to what you've said about it. I love the trim and the fact that matches with the sponsor. I think it looks great. It's very, very simplistic as a design. I really do like it. I love the white kit. I think they're very difficult to fuck up, but it's got to lose points. First of all, for the fact that the pattern on it does make it look a little bit like a roll of toilet paper. And second of all, as you say, the sponsor on the back is just appalling. It's so bad. Like, again, I love, even on the shorts, I love the fact that those stripes go all the way down. It looks great. It should give it more points, but for me, it's a 6. And if it didn't have that sponsor on the back, it's an 8. It's horrible.
So, next up we have Watford. I'm going to just go straight away for both. Where that sponsor is way too big. Mr. Q should not be that big on this kit. It might not even be that big, but for some reason it's the font, something about that sponsor. I know this isn't their fault, but it looks awful on this kit. On a kit that I would honestly say doesn't look great to begin with, even if it didn't have the sponsor. Just looking at it, going through, nah, this kit is not the one. It's really not the one for me. Don't like the pinstripes. Don't like the coloured pinstripes they've got. I don't even like the bottom where it goes red and then black on the other side. Honestly, this kit is a 3 out of 10 for me. I think Watford has absolutely fucked this.
So, I really like it. I do. I really like it. The sponsor, you're right, does massively take away from the score because it just looks out of place. It really does look out of place. I really, really like the pinstripes, and I like the trim a lot. And the collar as well. It looks clean. It looks nice. What really sets this kit apart for me is the Vicarage Road sign on the back of the collar. I think it's a really nice touch. I honestly think if it had a different sponsor or they did something different with the sponsor, that kit might be a 10 for me. I think it's an 8. I just think the sponsor, it doesn't work. But aside from that, it's a really nice kit. I love the different coloured pinstripes. I think it looks really nice.
So this is the last kit we'll be looking at, as of course I said earlier on, the likes of Oxford and Luton haven't released kits yet, or not where I could find them. So the last kit is West Brom. I think this... Well, actually, Jack, we'll go with you first. What are you thinking? What are you thinking about this West Brom kit?
I don't hate it, but the more I'm looking at it, the less I like it. So I don't like the collar, first of all, but that's just because I prefer like a rounded collar V-neck as a rule. I will say as well, the trim on the sleeves is quite off. I don't think the red works. I think maybe if you keep it blue, but I think red doesn't look great. The pattern actually on the blue stripes, I don't mind. I don't mind that. It's not a bad kit. But then, as well, when you look at the back, and the fact that they've only got stripes at the very bottom of the back and on the sleeves, that's annoying me. I think maybe... I'll give it a 7. Do you know what? I will give it a 7 because I think the majority of the design of the kit is very nice, but the back and the trim, I don't like.
I've got to say with this kit, I'm quite a big fan of this kit. I'm going to be honest. I like how they've got the sponsor involved with like the kit. It feels like it belongs there. Same colour scheme. I don't mind the little red trim with the red kit manufacturer sign. I do like the We Are Albion on the back. I think that looks really quite smart, and I quite like the back of this shirt. The one thing I will say is the picture handed to us here that we can see here looks very different to the picture on the players. It looks so much darker on the players. Now, I don't know if that's the team have done some Photoshop and done the contrast like crazy or something, because it looks so much darker here. And I've got to say, if it is like this colour and the dark, I don't like it as much as the nice navy blue colour. So I'm only going to go off this picture and assume it's this. I'm going to say it's a strong 8 out of 10. I do like this kit. I think it's nice. I like the pattern on the stripes of this one. I think it's just an all round nice kit, and I like the collar, how it's done. I like V-necks. So yeah, I'm happy to give this an 8. That is all the home kits that have been released in the Championship this season. I think overall, quite a nice selection. I think everything, like pretty much all of them were above a 5 for both were. Is that right? Yeah.
Mostly. There was a couple that were below that.
Yeah,
but
there was definitely a couple of stinkers in there.
Yeah, I think as a whole, the Championship's done well for this season coming up. Yeah. It is a nice selection of kits, with a couple of exceptions.
Yep, I can totally agree with that. So thank you for watching, everyone. If you want to see us do the away kits next for the Championship, please subscribe, leave a like on this video. If we get, I don't know, let's aim for a big target, 10 likes, we'll do the away kits this week. And remember, it's still 0-0. Peace.